have becoming serious and aggravated day by day. But we Ahmadis believe that in order to resolve all these international issues, what the world needs is 5 principles. First of all, it is the principle of loyalty. And then it is the principle of respect. Respect for all, loyalty to the governments of the countries, loyalty to the law and order of the country, and respect for all within the nation, respect for various groups, whether they are ethnic, whether they are minority, whether they are religious. And then obviously the third principle we believe in is equality. Equality is extremely important, not equality in and within international communities as well. And it is only through loyalty, respect, equality, and tolerance that we can march forward to the realization of peace in our own country and in the world as well. So the Ahmadiyya Muslim community, which obviously was founded over 125 years ago, is today struggling and working very, very hard to establish these principles throughout the world. The community is well established in over 200 countries of the world and has a membership of 200 million people in the world, all races, all languages, all colors, all creeds. They're all there, but they're all united under one leadership. And the leader of the community is the spiritual head of the community, whom we designate as Khalifa, that is, he is the successor of the founder of this movement, who claimed to be the promised Messiah. So this community is much more into the service of humanity. We want to see the quality of the life of humanity improve. Not only improve in material sense, but also improve in the spiritual sense. Today, the world is very concerned about the standards of morality. Today, the world is facing a lot of issues related to behavior, related to conduct. There are problems in every country related to drug addiction, related to other immoral activities, and much more so, the whole disturb of the universe, of this planet, is disturbed, is actually lost completely because of extremism and fundamentalism, of religious prejudices. And this is what our community, the Ahmadiyya community, is trying to appease and eliminate. Violence, extremism, fundamentalism are like poison to the attainment and to the realization of world peace. And therefore, it is very important that we have the true teachings of all the faiths presented to the people. Every religion, every faith professes to be standing for the peace of the world. But Islam says that you cannot attain peace just by claiming and professing to be the flag bearers of peace. You have to do something for it. And it's not an easy struggle to achieve peace in the world. Therefore, the Ahmadiyya community is trying to establish these fundamental principles in every society. But unfortunately, the Ahmadis themselves have become the victims of violence, extremism, and fundamentalism. And as you are aware, the Ahmadiyya headquarters were established in Pakistan when Pakistan was founded in 1947. The Ahmadis moved from its original headquarters in Qadian, northern India, where it was established in 1889. And from 1947, there was civil opposition to the community, religious opposition, which is tolerable because it's a common factor of all religions that they are opposed and persecuted. But then the state of Pakistan got involved in the persecution of Ahmadis. And it was so horrible that in 1953, just 6 years after the formation of Pakistan, the Pakistanis were at the throat of Ahmadis, and they wanted to totally eliminate this community, this faith from the surface of Pakistan. But what happened? In 1953, Ahmadis were killed, their houses were burnt, their businesses were destroyed, and as a result of that, the civil administration, the civil government in Pakistan collapsed, and martial law came into Pakistan. And then, obviously, there has hardly ever been a successful civil government in Pakistan. And then, in 1974, the government went to parliament, amendment to their constitution, to declare Ahmadis as non-Muslims. Ahmadis profess Islam that was brought by Prophet Muhammad, peace and blessings of Allah, by following which truly Muslims and others can. In 1984, the dictator General Zia-ul Haq Khan, he promulgated an ordinance which is known as Ordinance 20, and under that ordinance, he amended the Penal Code 295 and 298 of Pakistan, under which Ahmadis were completely paralyzed to follow their faith and practice their faith and profess their religion. They were told that if they claim or profess to be Muslims, they would be prosecuted and put in jail. If they were to use any term which is related to Islam in Arabic, they would be put in prison. And if they were to use any epithets related to the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam or other spiritual dignitaries in Islam, they could be prosecuted under the blasphemy laws of Pakistan. And the punishment for blasphemy since 1991 has been death in Pakistan. And this is not only on paper. So many Ahmadis have been prosecuted under blasphemy laws. They were shut and jailed in cells waiting for death. And over thousands have been prosecuted because they use the Islamic terminology and they profess to be Muslims, and they have been fined and they have been put in prison for 3 years or more, and hundreds of cases are still going on in courts. This is the situation which compelled some Ahmadis who were severely targeted and their lives have become hell to flee Pakistan, to seek protection, the world protection, protection of the world international organizations, so that they could lead a normal life. Their children could receive education. They could have a reasonable, respectable job to maintain and sustain their families. So that was the situation that was created by these state-generated and state-deployed laws against Ahmadis. And what happened? All these Ahmadis scattered in the world seeking international protection. And as a result of that, some Ahmadis had to come to Sri Lanka as well, to Colombo. And they have been here for 5 or 6 years. And they are waiting for their resettlement elsewhere through the UNHCR. But Ahmadis have a very high standard of morality. They are highly organized, they are disciplined under one leader, and their moral behavior and conduct is closely watched, and you will never or hardly find an Ahmadi anywhere in the world who engages in illicit activities, who engages in any activity to disrupt the law and order of the country. They will never do that. And whether they are refugees or whether they are local Ahmadis, they will sustain and maintain a respectable standard of moral behavior everywhere. But unfortunately, more recently, just a couple of weeks ago, I saw a report in one of the local papers here in Sri Lanka, which said that Ahmadis who are a majority of the urban refugees in Sri Lanka. They were alleged and accused of engaging in illicit activities. They are accused of working with extremist groups. They are accused of being with people who deal in drugs. Now that is absolutely shocking and absolutely a very, very dreadful allegation against a community which is maintaining such high standards of morality everywhere in the world. Not only in Sri Lanka. The community, the Ahmadiyya community in Sri Lanka has been here for almost 100 years. And during those, we can hardly find a case of a single Ahmadi who ever engaged in any illicit activity or any activity to disrupt the law and order of the country. Ahmadis are instructed to be strictly obedient to the law and order of the country, to remain very, very loyal to the government of the country, and they are, in fact. They are devoted to the development and well-being of all the people of this country. So Sri Lankans and the people of Sri Lanka and the government of Sri Lanka can always have full trust and full confidence in the loyalty and the faithfulness and the dedication and devotion of Ahmadis to the well-being and the welfare of this state and its people. And not only that, we extend our hand of assistance and cooperation to the poor of the world. We have a special organization which is known as Humanity First, and this organization is working all over the world to appease and alleviate poverty and help the third world poor to better their quality of life. We are opening hospitals, we are opening schools, we are doing work in rural areas to provide solar energy, to provide clean drinking water, and to provide health centers and mobile health centers so that they can move to villages everywhere and help people to improve their condition of medical and health facilities. So this is the Ahmadiyya community. Ahmadiyya community respects all the founders of all faiths. It gives a very high regard to the founders of every faith. To them, all faiths are God created and they are divine. Their founders are divine. Their teaching was divine. And as such, we all as human beings have to work together, not through his love, but also to love, affection, care, sympathy. And this is, we truly believe from the depth of our hearts, that it is through love, it is through winning the hearts of God and the love of humanity, and so we can work abiding and taking care of maintaining and sustaining a very high standard of moral and never engage in any activity, even not go in protests, not go out on streets, demonstrate.
அஹ்மதியமாத் உருவாக்கப்பட்டதன் நோக்கமே அதாவது மனித சமுதாயத்துக்கிடையில் அமைதியையும் சாந்தியையும் ஏற்படுத்துவதோடு இறைவனுக்கும் மனிதனுக்கும் இடையில் ஒரு நெருக்கமான பிணைப்பை ஏற்படுத்துவதுதான் இந்த அஹ்மதியத்துடைய வருகை நோக்கமாக இருக்கிறது. ஹஜ்ரத் மிர்சா குலாம் அஹ்மத் அலைஹிஸ்ஸலாத்து வஸ்ஸலாம் அவர்கள் இன்றைக்கு 120 வருடங்களுக்கு முன்பதாக காதியானில் இந்த ஜமாத்தை, அதாவது அஹ்மதியா முஸ்லிம் ஜமாத் என்ற அமைப்பை இறைவனுடைய கட்டளையின் அடிப்படையில் உருவாக்கினார். அதாவது 1889 மார்ச் 23ஆம் தேதி இந்த ஜமாத்தை உருவாக்கினார்கள். அதாவது ஹஜ்ரத் முஹம்மது முஸ்தபா ஸல்லல்லாஹு அலைஹி வஸல்லம் அவர்கள் முன்னறிவித்திருந்தார்கள், என்னுடைய உம்மத்தில் இறுதி காலத்தில் என்னுடைய உம்மத்தில் பல பிரிவுகள் தோன்றும், பல பிரிவுகள் தோன்றி பல பிரச்சனைகளுக்கும் பல சோதனைகளுக்கும் அவர்கள் ஆளாகி இருப்பார்கள். அப்பேற்பட்ட காலத்தில்